Gentlemen, welcome to the High School Star League. My name is Seamoose. I am joined by Dratnos today, and we are going to be starting in the next couple of moments with some Hearthstone show matches.
Absolutely, yeah. How's it going? Looks like we're in game here between Paladin and Rogue. Crusader K versus Neemers being the matchup.
Yes, we are indeed. And, Dratnos, this Crusader K character, have you ever heard of him before? I think he's new in the HSL circuit.
Never heard of him in my life. No, who might he be?
For anyone who doesn't know, of course, this is Brian Crusader Kitten Trong. Unfortunately, like I said before, these are only going to be show matches since we weren't able to get players. But anyway, let's talk about this matchup, Dranos. What do you think? Who's the advantage right now?
Well, this Rogue deck looks pretty interesting. It's featuring Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Is that Faceless Manipulator? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So this is
Two
presumably
Pillager.
a new take on Miracle Rogue. This is planned here. We'll have to see how that works out for him. I know I've heard talk of this deck being good, but I have yet to actually see it in play myself, so...
Well, that's definitely... You know, the nerfs that Miracle Rogue received were pretty tough, but as far as the new cards from League of Explorers, there's a lot of stuff that Rogue can work with in this set.
Absolutely, yeah. This Tomb Pillager is an extremely powerful card when combined with combo cards and Gadgetzan Auctioneer, Sprint and stuff. Just the mid and late game coin has always been really, really good in Rogue. Rogue's been the one class in the game that's had a better win rate when it's going second because it gets the coin. So it's a really... We'll have to see if that ends up being enough to swing this matchup in his favor. Although Rogue versus Paladin has actually traditionally been relatively favorable for Rogue. It's been one of their good matchups.
Yeah, Rogue definitely has, you know, a lot of clear to get rid of the small minions that Paladin likes to play. And honestly, it can also get rid of the larger minions too. Tyrion really isn't a problem if you can just sap it off the board. And then Rogue can pretty much burst Paladin down. At least most iterations of Rogue are generally played like a, you know, high-level burst combo deck.
Yeah, the burst finish is pretty common among basically every Rogue build that has ever been made. We'll have to see what exactly his combo is here. The fact that Faceless Manipulator's in his deck maybe makes me think that there's something going on with like Arcane Golem and Cold Blood.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna include Faceless Manipulator in a Rogue deck, there's got to be some form of like one-turn kill in that. That seems a little suspicious.
All right, so here's going to be the Gadgetzan, and he's going to get a Prapivis Sap, maybe Prapivis coin, something. Ooh, there is that Cold Blood. Yeah, all right. Draws into another Eviscerate. So he has the option of coining. He could have coined out a Cold Blood, but he's gonna sit on his hand here.
Yeah.
Save that coin for a future turn.
What do you think? The conservative play there. What do you agree with that or disagree?
I mean, it's pretty likely that your opponent's going to be able to deal with this Gadgetzan Auctioneer, right?
Well,
he has 2 damage in play, so even if he had Consecrate in his hand, it would work. Consecrate or Equality would do it.
Yeah.
Here comes that Equality. So the Gadgetzan's going to be gone. That being said, you know, maybe you just save this coin for the second Gadgetzan, and then you're also happy about that. Deadly Poison, though, going to be the draw here. So his hand has quite a lot of burst in it, but it's looking for a charge minion. A charge minion would really let him activate all the burst in his hand. Also, his opponent is still at 26, which is a fairly high life total. So he might still have to clear the board a little bit here. Let's see if he decides to put that SI7 agent into play. And indeed he will, but he's not going to bother activating combo. Which he could have done so, but he's deciding to keep those cards in his hand.
Yeah, Neemers he's in a bit of a pickle right now, playing minions just to have minions on board, but if he loses this SI agent, who's going to be taken down by one of the recruits, Crusader K is in a really favorable board position right now. He's got board control. There aren't many useful minions in Neemers' hand. He's going to be able to play the Tyrion next turn. This is a tough situation for the Rogue to be in.
And it looks like Neemers thinking about playing a Faceless Manipulator here, getting himself a 2/5. 5-mana 2/5. Not exactly a card that you would choose to put in your deck normally, but sometimes, sometimes you don't get the dream situation. It looks like he's just going to use his Deadly Poison and his Blade Flurry to clear this board.
But he gets the cleared. Crusader K, wow. We're going to need to talk to the commissioner of the league because that is some bad manners from Crusader Kitten. But
Out
there we
comes
go.
Tyrion Fordring. Now, there are 2 saps in Neemers' deck for it, one of which is in his hand.
Yeah,
But
so...
that is only a temporary solution. There's that Conceal. That would have been good for the Gadgetzan turn. So here's the sap. And looks like he's played that Faceless last turn so that he could get his Quartermaster cold-blooded and get going with that.
Well, here we go. He's committed to trying to do as much damage as he possibly can with this Quartermaster.
Yep, sends that Eviscerate directly upstairs, and he is going to Conceal here to protect his 6/5, it looks like. Maybe.
You know, considering he doesn't have any other option, I guess that's an acceptable play. But
I'd be really tempted to hold it for
really?
for the future Gadgetzans.
Well, I want to go back to a couple of turns ago. I feel like Neemers is probably really regretting not using that coin before.
Yeah, absolutely. If he'd coined when that Gadgetzan was out, you know, make a mana, draw a card, and then getting to play a 1-drop, make a mana, or use his mana and draw a card. Oh, in preparation, the draw. That is an awful draw at 10 mana crystals with no relevant spells to reduce.
Yeah, Crusader Kitten, there's pretty much no way he can possibly lose this one now.
It's certainly looking very good for him. Yeah, he can now he has time to put that Tyrion into play. Or he could use Consecrate to deal with the 6/2 cleanly.
He could.
The problem with playing Consecrate is that it's basically his whole turn would be spent on Consecrate. And if you're going to spend your whole turn on a card, it might as well be an 8-drop instead of a 4-drop.
Yeah. I definitely would agree here. I think that playing the Tyrion is probably...
Yeah,
this doesn't really matter.
If he plays the Tyrion now, the question is whether he should clear off that 6/2 with his face.
Well, if he goes for face, he's threatening quite a bit of damage on the next turn, and he heals himself up. So I don't even know if I'd go for the 6/2 here.
Yep, looks like he is just going to go right upstairs. Looks good. Southsea Deckhand, the draw for Neemers. That's presumably one of the other faceless targets, is a cold-blooded up Southsea Deckhand.
And his minions die an honorable death, getting rid of the Tyrion.
Yeah, and that's going to be the end of the game here because of these 2 consecrations, which will represent enough burst damage to end it right here. So that was a good one. Crusader K up a game now if he can spot this sneaky lethal here. It's not a particularly sneaky lethal.
Oh,
he's going for that old Murkai.
Yeah, he's going for the rude plays.
Still has the lethal here. Oh, he doesn't find the charge Murloc for the added style points. We'll just have to do it with the consecration.
Crusader Kitten, if you're watching this VOD, I do not approve of your rudeness. That is not befitting of a caster of the high school level quality. But anyway.
So, waiting now for them to choose their decks for game 2. This is Conquest, best of 5.
Yeah, Crusader Kitten, pretty easy win there. I mean, Dratenos, what do you think? Neemers had an interesting deck, but it really wasn't able to get the combo pieces it needed, and as a result, Crusader Kitten just kept playing really efficient cards and took it home.
Absolutely, yeah, that is exactly how that game went. Now we're going to get Priest versus Mage. Looks like Control Priest, maybe Dragons in there, versus a Tempo Mage.
Yeah, and Control Priest got a really good buff with this latest set. Do you know what it's called, Dratenos?
You're talking about Museum Curator?
Of course. One of the better cards, I think, that people weren't really expecting. Just because there's so many good minions that it can possibly pull up.
Yeah, it's just a good way to like cycle through your deck while you're, do things with 2 mana, which has historically been a problem for Priests, is just having anything to do on turn 2.
Yeah, like if you had the Curator here, that'd be a no-brainer. But this is pretty good.
Oh, Mind Games, the draw. Looks like Crusader K has brought some Randuin here. Got a bunch of random effects maybe in his deck.
With Entomb as well.
Certainly could be. Oh yeah, Entomb and Mind Games, that's
RNG Priest.
You can just steal all their things. And looks like Neemers is actually going to have enough here to clear off this Northshire without using his Mana Worms attack, which is going to enable that Mana Worm to go upstairs for 4, get the beats on. And he's cleverly left it at 4, which means it's out of range of Shadow or Death, but next turn, presumably it will have to be in range of that.
Yeah, I don't think Neemers really minds so long as he can get that damage off. He's going to get a charge Murloc from the Unstable Portal. That's a nice little bit of burst if he wants to end the game later.
Interestingly, he decides to hold it in his hand here. I would have been tempted to just play it and try and get in for 4 damage or something with it.
Oh man, the Shadow Word Death actually is going to be used by Crusader Kitten onto the Mana Worm.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to Shadow or Death a 1-drop, but at least it's an answer.
Well, yeah, but now Neemers has a couple of high damage minions that will be coming down for sure.
Yeah, these Ethereal Conjurers have been extremely effective in a lot of different builds of Mage. Looks like he's got a choice between Frost Nova, Arcane Explosion, and Arcane Intellect. Gonna take the card advantage. Back over to Crusader K.
So he could double Thought Steal, but, you know, Thought Steal one time, see what you have. Counterspell, actually kind of a good card to have here.
Yeah, Counterspell's excellent against Tempo Mage often. They do have a lot of cheap spells for it.
So the real question is, what secrets is Neemers running? Because if he knows it's a Counterspell, he can play around it.
Yeah, he's probably aware that he's probably got Counterspells and mirror entities. So
Right.
his play here is going to play around both of those because now he knows it's Counterspell, and
Yep.
he played a 2-1 on the off chance that it was mirror entity.
Speaking of Counterspell,
Yeah, he can fire off his Arcane Missiles here. Yeah, he's going to do that. Use his mana this turn while it's there and get that Counterspell out of the way. Well played is indeed correct.
all the nice emotes now
Yeah.
from both Medivh and Endon.
Absolutely.
So, what are you thinking? There's a Conjurer on the board that Crusader K needs to get rid of.
Ooh,
Right now. Oh,
Thought
man.
Steal's into a Flamewaker. Now, Flamewaker is potentially a card that'll allow him to get back into this game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
Looks like he's just going to cast Mind Games here. I hope that he can get something great. Instead, he gets a 3-2. Happy Feasting Challenger has been called.
Oh my goodness, all of these new emotes.
Yeah,
Happy Feast of Wintervale, Dratnos. Happy Feast.
these are extremely high power level emotes.
Yeah, this
It's,
is...
really power creep in the emote department from Blizzard.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps it's just the natural progression of the emote meta.
Yeah, maybe we'll find an emote counter soon.
Maybe.
Hopefully. 'Cause
Well,
that-
there's the Squelch button, but that's been banned in competitive play because it's OP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the nuclear option, really. Looks like Shrinkmeister Cabal on the Piloted Shredder is going to represent a huge swing in board control here for
Yeah.
Crusader K.
But the issue is Neemers has so much damage right now. He could
Yeah.
probably just go face.
I think he might have had lethal that turn. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
he probably
double
did.
fireball. Yeah, he definitely had game, but
Hard
okay.
to pass up playing Dr. Boom, though.
You know, yeah, I guess you're right, but Crusader K, he's still pretty much dead here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to Light Bomb and then heal himself up to 12, which is not enough. He needs
Well,
like
what
a
if-
Vitality Totem.
Yeah, I was about to say, but even then, the bombs.
Yeah, it looks like he's not even going to bother playing around 10 points of damage or 11 points of damage.
You know, I wonder if Crusader K realized that Neemers had double fireball and noticed that he missed lethal last turn, but either way, it doesn't really matter that much. Crusader K
Neemers
now.
going to even it up to 1-1.
And yeah, so
So the decks that both players brought, Crusader K brought Priest, Paladin, and Warrior, but his Paladin is done. And Neemers brought Paladin, Rogue, and Mage, but his Mage is done. So we have Paladin and Rogue from Neemers up against Paladin and Warrior from Crusader K. Looks like we're getting into game now for game 3. And it is going to be Priest versus Rogue. This is traditionally a pretty good matchup for the Rogue.
The light shall bring victory.
traditionally yes, but whenever you have a zombie chow in your first hand turn, you're probably pretty satisfied.
Yeah, the Zombie Chow, very good card on turn 1 in almost every matchup, although this is not the best matchup for it, as a 2-3 is not
That's true.
particularly effective against Rogue, although, the fact that it costs 1 mana is still extremely
Yeah,
good.
it's such a efficient card though, and I'm actually getting a message from Crusader K stating that Dragon Priest is too expensive, LOE is too expensive, so perhaps he's playing with, perhaps it's just an old, controlled priest without any of the new stuff.
Certainly a possibility, yeah. I've got a little bit of excuses in the chamber there for our commissioner.
Well, I just feel like he should be playing more dailies if he doesn't have money.
Absolutely, yeah. Gotta clear those quests every single day. Back over to Crusader K now. Looks like he's gonna play another 1-drop here. Start attacking with that Zombie Chow. Ooh, an SI7 agent here is
man.
gonna threaten to deal with this entire board.
Yeah, but that's another pure SI agent without getting the combo piece of it. Probably not feeling too happy for Neemers. I know it's not like a bad play, but it just doesn't feel great,
Yeah, absolutely. It feels very bad to play an SI7 agent without combo.
Yeah.
It's not that it's unplayable rate. Like it's pretty good rate. Like you would play
It's alright.
3 mana 3/3 with minimal upside pretty often. Like you're still very happy the cards in your deck, but It is unfortunate. Ooh, and the Shrinkmeister is going to be huge here,
Yeah,
allowing
that's a
him
great
to
answer.
save both of his minions and threaten to start drawing cards with that Northshire.
He could have coined and healed for the draw if he wanted to, but that would just technically be getting rid of the coin for another card, so...
Well played.
Yeah, he is going to lose his Northshire now to this Thalnos Shiv play.
Still, I feel like at this point the damage is done. Crusader K is going to have board control for at least a few turns unless Neemers finds an answer, because now he could run that Zombie Chow into the Blood Mage and coin out Belcher if he really wanted to.
Yeah, or he could heal up his Zombie Chow. Looks like he's thinking about sending his minions right at the face. We'll have to see if any of them goes for the trade. Okay, the Chow will do a trade, which seems like the safest play. Tomb Pillager, going to be the play for Neemers here. Very powerful card, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah, I wonder what the gold animation of that card looks like.
Probably pretty great.
Yeah, that's probably like puts that in his bag or something.
Golden coins also are a pretty huge value.
Yeah, that's true. Golden coin. Oh boy.
Valen's
Normally-
chosen. Ooh, that's gonna go on the Zombie Chow.
Interesting. So he doesn't want the heal effect to happen.
Yeah, he's pretty interested in saving as much of his board as possible. Also, Zombie Chow, since it's got this detrimental death rattle on it, it's usually a pretty good target for buffs, because if it gets silenced, at least that detrimental death rattle is also getting silenced.
Neemers.
Ooh.
Does he... Oh boy.
Happy Feast of Winterveil.
Crusader K, he knows he has him on the ropes with that emote spam.
Really just a very festive environment here between our two challengers.
Yeah, and they're both working on their APM right now.
Dagger Mastery, Eviscerate, potentially with no combo coming out. Looks like it. That's going to enable the combo on the second Eviscerate, which
Yeah,
will take
but-
down the front half of the Sludge Belcher. Unfortunately, the back half of the Sludge Belcher also extremely annoying for Rogue to deal with.
Both players actually are going to have hands without minions unless we see Crusader K draw into one. No, so this Thought Steal.
The
to
second
get a
Mind
minion.
Control, though.
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
pretty interesting.
Ooh, Gadgets and Power Word Shield is an age-old combo. That is extremely effective, generally. Looks like Crusader K is comfortable to sit on his hand here. He could have cycled that Fan of Knives, but decides against it, thinking that there might be value in it later. He's seen South Sea Deckhand out
Just
of
in
Neemers.
case there's like a Violet Teacher or something, I don't really mind keeping the Phantom Knives, you know, just for keeping it up a turn.
Yeah, you've seen South Sea Deckhand, Faceless Manipulator, and Conceal, so
Right.
Phantom Knives is an excellent answer to that kind of sequence. So now he has the option of playing Gadgets and Auctioneer and Power Word Shielding either the Auctioneer or the Slime,
Yeah.
both of which is going to be very annoying.
That seems like a no-brainer. I think he just plays the gadgets in here.
And he's going
And
to put the shield on the Slime, drawing a Shadow Word Pain. Wow, and he's probably going to miracle a little bit better than Neemers is here.
yeah. Oh boy. It's the age-old conundrum that it's rogues who perform miracles and priests who steal things, but now it's the priests not only stealing things but also performing miracles.
Yeah. Ooh, and he is actually Neemers is going to be getting back in it here with this this Cold Blood play.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice Gadgeton to draw.
And he has coin or prep into conceal if he wants it here. It looks like he's going to go ahead and use the coin. Draws another auctioneer. Wow, so the tables have kind of turned here.
Maybe. Neemers still pretty low.
Yeah, although the classes that has one of the least amounts of burn in the game is Priest.
That is true. Unless it's specifically Burn Priest.
Yeah, Mind
When you're
Blasts,
right.
of course, can be included
Yeah.
to hit people out of nowhere.
Oh boy, if he just double Mind Blasted right now, Neemers would be like, you know what? I don't even mind.
Yeah,
That-
more power
That
to you.
happens. Yeah.
Trying to silence that Gadget and Auctioneer, not going to work, of course, since it is in stealth.
Well, playing the Phantom Knives definitely the right decision here, and no, Zombie Chow is not going to help at all, so he might just go face, play Shrinkmaster too, just to have more minions on board and try to push for damage.
Yeah, although if he draws a Cabal, presumably there are two of them in his deck. If he draws one of those next turn, he'll be able to Shrinkmeister Cabal the Auctioneer, might be his thinking. Alright, so Gadget and Auctioneer, the draw for Neemers now. He's got the option of playing one of his Auctioneers and then just going off with his preparations and stuff. Instead, it looks like he's thinking about playing a Tomb Pillager.
Alright.
Now he's going to prep. Draws a Sap. He's going to play Blade Flurry, though. That deals with the Shrinkmeister, puts Crusader K down to 27. Then he's going to fire off a Shiv. Very, very good card when you have Gadgetzan Auctioneer in play.
Yeah, Rogue reminding us that no one does it better. No one performs miracles better than the Rogue.
He's going to end with a Conceal here, and that's going to stop Crusader K from being able to interact with those minions.
Those last
Ooh.
few turns were very solid.
Cabal was the draw. Light Bomb, though, going to deal with the minions even behind the Conceal. Coin goes back into Neemers' hand. Neemers, though, still with 2 Auctioneers in his hand.
Yeah, that's the thing. He hasn't run out of steam just yet.
Yeah, the limiting factor now is going to be his deck, whether there's enough stuff in his deck to end the game.
Oh, I love coining out Lothep here. But the thing is, he's going to be hit by the combo now. He's probably doing this to try and protect his Auctioneer, but he forgot about the quintessential Priest combo.
Of Shrinkmeister Cabal.
Exactly.
And here it comes. That is going to be the line here. Crusader K probably pretty happy that he's held onto that Shrinkmeister from a few turns ago.
Oh man, Neemers must be hitting himself right now because, you know, it wasn't a bad play that he did. It was a pretty smart, conservative play, try to keep your Auctioneer up. But he forgot about the one thing that could stop him. And now Crusader K, it's really good that he held onto that Shrinkmeister.
Only 4 cards left in Neemers' deck, and now it's really a race against the clock to see if he can draw into, or if he can end the game with the cards that are left in his deck. It's going to be close. He's going to use Backstab SI to deal with that 4-2 Cabal Shadow Priest. Then he's going to use Lothep to finish off the Shrinkmeister. Go face, putting his opponent down to 24. 24, though, still a fairly high life total. It's not going to take much here for Crusader K to be able to deal with the last resources that Neemers has available.
Yeah, Kitten's probably not too worried right now. He knows Neemers is running out of cards. He knows he's run through most of his options for burn, at least. He is facing, you know, a decent board on the opposing side. A 5-2, 4-4, and 3-3. They are annoying to deal with, and I don't actually think he can clear them all right now.
Yeah,
unless...
he can very easily deal with the 3-3 and the 5-2 using 4 of his mana. So it looks like that is exactly what he's going to do.
That 4-4, though. 4 is definitely a very annoying attack point for Priest to deal with in general.
Yeah, he's got the Shadow Word Pain and the Shadow Word Death in his hand to highlight that inflexible spot on the attack curve. Looks like Gadgetzan Auctioneer going to be the play for Neemers here. That's actually going to serve to limit the number of spells he can play soon.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, actually, because now he's going to be facing fatigue damage. This...
Looks like he knew he needed to draw all the cards in his deck to end the game here. Although, the 2 cards that he drew were Backstab and Fan of Knives, so... if he knew for sure what was left in his deck, he would not have necessarily made that play. So, Crusader K going to steal that 8-4. Back over to Neemers now. Now, Neemers is going to have to struggle to find a way to deal 16 damage. He's going to start with the trade here. That's going to give him a little bit more time, just because he's not going to fatigue as aggressively with that Gadgetzan in play. He's just going to go Weapon, Deadly, and Face. But if this 3-3 gets dealt with, that is going to mean that he has nowhere near enough damage to outrace the Fatigue and the Priest Hero power.
There's no way Crusader loses here. Mathematically, it's just impossible.
Yeah, he would need to forget to Shadow Word Pain for a couple turns.
Well, he could the Belcher alone, I think, wins him the game.
Yep, certainly looks like it. It is a happy Feast of Wintervale for Crusader Kitten.
Wintervale.
What a powerful emote, though.
Yeah, well, you know what? I never actually played WoW. I'm assuming, is that a place? Wintervale? It sounds like a place.
No, Wintervale is just like the Christmas time
really?
celebration.
Okay.
In game, yeah. All the cities would get, you know, decorated like this board is with
I see.
all the adornments and stuff.
Yeah. Do they have their own equivalent of Santa Claus?
Yeah, Great Father Winter.
Great Father Winter.
Alright, back over now. So now, Kitten up 2-1 in this series. He's going to have to win with his Paladin now. Of course, for Neemers, we've still got Rogue. Oh, sorry, Crusader Kitten now has to win with his Warrior.
He already won with his Paladin before.
Absolutely, yep. And
Patron Warrior, though.
Ooh, that is an exciting...
What in the world is Neemers playing?
Looks like it's anything can happen, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is anything can happen, one turn kill combo. This deck is pretty fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's fun. Whether or not it's competitively viable, you know, that's a discussion for another time. But it sure is fun.
You only have to play a few cards that are like bad. You know, the newer decks have not been playing the Grimscale Oracles, which are a very weak card individually.
Yeah.
So now it's just got 2 copies of the Bluegill Warrior, which is not that bad in Paladin anyways. 2 mana for 2 damage is kind of an effect that Paladin is lacking, and uses pretty effectively to deal with, knife jugglers and whatever on turn 2.
Oh, man. So, Crusader K gonna be able to slap down the Acolyte, which is, a very good card actually up against Paladin.
And looks like Murloc Warleader is going to be the play here for Neemers.
Interesting.
Pretty unfortunate, though, that this, Ooh, I wonder if he's going to do something fun here with his Inner Rages.
Yeah, the fact that...
So this will allow him to trade with that 3/3 now if he wants.
Right. Oh, he could even bash here.
Yeah, he could do that. Unfortunately, if he bashes, he's kind of leaving his Acolyte in the cold against that 2/2 Divine Shield.
That's true.
He maybe is going to just want to trade and play a 3/3 taunt.
Yeah. Or attack into it and see what he draws. Huh.
Yep, here comes that Dread Corsair. So the board looking pretty stalled here, although this muster is going to allow Neemers to break through that 3/3.
So I wonder if Crusader K runs Revenge, because I know a friend of mine who plays Warrior, he loves Revenge as an option against Paladin.
Well, since this is Patron Warrior, presumably he's got
or
Whirlwind effects.
Of course, you're right, yeah. For some odd reason, I forgot Whirlwind was a card. Yeah, there are many ways for a Warrior just to get rid of so many small token minions,
But none of those happen to be in his hand right now. I think he mulliganed away a Deathspite this game, which is not traditionally one of that's traditionally one of the cards you're mulliganing for, particularly against Paladin. Looks like he's gonna settle for playing a Fiery War Axe this turn, clearing off that 2/2 maybe. No, he's just gonna play the Lothab. All right, down it comes.
Well, Lothab can pretty easily be answered by Neemers. The question is, does he want to send most of his minions into the 5/5 body? Doesn't actually look like that.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna force Crusader K to start making some unwieldy trades with that 5/5. Ooh, Sylvanas Windrunner, the draw for Crusader K.
Not the best draw in the situation, though.
Yeah, it's gonna do something. He's probably still got enough time for it to prove effective.
Maybe. But I think probably the card Crusader wanted the most right now would have been either a Whirlwind or Deathspite. Probably Deathspite.
A Whirlwind would have been really excellent, as would Deathspite. That would have been great. Either one would have set him up to really patron off soon.
Yeah, for now, though, the question is, Dratnos, do you play the Grim Patron and then Inner Rage it, hoping to, get a little bit of value out of it? Or do you hold on to that, maybe slap down the Sylvanas, trade into the 4/4?
Looks like Crusader K is thinking about playing that Sylvanas. And he is going to deal with that Azure Break, yeah. The biggest minion on the board. So his life total is 24 here. Looks like Neemers is going to be comfortable just trading his whole board into that Sylvanas. Ooh, or maybe he's going to use this Consecrate here. This Consecrate is not very different from not using Consecrate is the thing.
Yeah. Alright, he realizes that.
Yeah, so he's going to end up triggering that Death Rattle on an empty board. Refilling with another War Leader and a Shielded Minibot. So on the Murlocs that have died count, there's 1 War Leader so far.
Yeah. I mean, Neemers must know that this Murloc would have been in a bad spot, because there's a lot of ways for where to deal with it, but instead, Crusader Kitten just wants to play down the boom. Obviously, a turn 7 boom is, the most efficient boom you could get, unless you coin or intervey one out.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Neemers is looking alright at the moment. There's a lot of options for Crusader Kitten to deal with his board, but Neemers is starting to push a decent amount of damage, and like you said before, anything can happen with the deck he's running.
Yeah, he needs to draw some of his Charge Murlocs, though, before his Anyfins actually do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's got 1 Old Murkai and 2 Bluegill Warriors left in his deck. He probably wants to draw 2 of those, and an Anyfin can happen, and then he will be able to win very easily. Otherwise, he'll have to just do this mid-range Paladin approximation, which is very effective still against Warrior, except if they can get that Grim Patron turn going, which Crusader K regrettably has not been able to do. He has yet to draw a Whirlwind effect. Unfortunate Boombot there, going to the one place, doing 1 damage to the minion that survives it. Very unfortunate. Anything can happen, though. The draw for Neemers.
That being said, though, he still needs the Murlocs.
Yeah, potentially he might lay on hands himself this turn to set up for that anyfin in 2 turns. Instead, it looks like he's just going to use Equality, deal 6 damage to that Dr. Boom, play an NT heal bot, get in there for 2 with his shielded mini-bot. Now Grommash Hellscream, the draw for Crusader K. If he can get his opponent a little bit lower, that's going to represent 12 points of burst damage in combination with that Inner Rage. Unfortunately, he's not close to 12 points of damage being lethal.
And not only that, Dretnos, but there's so much healing.
Yeah, if he tries
Neemers
to...
has.
If he starts sending his attacks up face, he's going to be sorely disappointed. Keeper
Yeah.
Voldemon the draw for Neemers. That'll allow his shielded minibot to trade up into that Shredder.
You know, Keeper is definitely one of the more interesting cards coming out of Explorer. What do you think of the card?
I think it's extremely good. It's,
Really?
Yeah, just a very, very, very powerful card.
Yeah.
My thanks, the call from Crusader Kitten. Perhaps he's happy now that his Grommash is going to get a reasonable trade into that 3-4.
Hey, and now his hero power can target minions.
Yeah, give those minions plus 2 armor.
How funny would that be if you could do that?
Yeah, you know, if it just functioned like Power Word Shield, that would be really strong.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to settle for a frothing turn, maybe even get his patrons growing this turn.
At this point, playing the patron, it's not something you want to do, but probably the right decision anyway.
Where's this Inner Rage going is the question. Inner Rage onto the Grim Patron, of course.
Yeah, you can't really... He wants to start setting up this frothing, and while it'd be nice to hold on to the combo, he needs to start establishing some board control.
So double Consecrate here can clear this board very effectively for Neemers. Still will be left with that 3-1. He could also use a single Consecrate, but that will leave a very large Frothing Berserker in play. So he's going to elect to use both copies of that card.
Remember back in the day when that Frothing Berserker could have hit you after 1 turn of being on the board and OTK you?
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Those were good old days. I remember them like they were yesterday. Another Berserker, actually, almost seemingly taunting Crusader Kitten now, who's trying to take the series in this game number 4, but at this point, Neemers has managed to turn the game around, and Crusader Kitten looking to be in a tough spot.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that he's just very likely to die as soon as Neemers can find a charge Murloc or 2. Draws a second copy of Lay on Hands. Of course, Neemers' deck very happy to play all the card draw it can.
How much more healing does this man need, though? Holy moly.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't overheal yourself with the Paladin cards.
That would be crazy.
Deathbite finally into Crusader K's hand. The turn after, or 2 turns after he had to pull the trigger on his patrons, anyways. Very bad feeling. He's going to start building up that Frothing Berserker, though, and Neemers doesn't actually have that many great answers to this Frothing Berserker.
Well, you're right. For now, he doesn't. He does.
Ooh, a Bluegill Warrior, the draw.
Oh, he just drew an out. In theory, he could kill it with the Pyromancer coin.
Yeah, Pyromancer coin, Bluegill Warrior would do the trick. Unfortunately, that would leave the rest of his turn as probably Azure Drake.
Yeah, well, that's still not a horrible turn.
Yeah, maybe he's tempted, though, to Lay on Hands himself. That seems loose, I guess. It would... I mean, anything can happen is getting pretty close to lethal. If he can find one more Charge Murloc, it's very likely to get there.
Well, he's got the double War Leaders. He has the one Charge Murloc now.
He has so many more resources than Crusader K, though. He probably can't lose if he just, you know, trades his resources off, even if it's a little bit inefficient.
Let me think.
So, he's choosing now what to start with. He could start with the Azure Drake, but then if he ends up using a Pyromancer and a coin, it's going to take an extra damage. He's going to draw into that Bluegill, though. That's a huge draw. Now he can double Bluegill into this Crusader K's Frothing Berserker.
And that's pretty much going to be game next turn, maybe. I think it'd be close.
Yeah, so now he's going to be able to get 2 War Leaders and 2 Bluegills. That's 12 damage off of the first anything. So not quite game.
Okay.
Going to do a large amount of damage, though. Put a large amount of threats on the board, which Crusader K will not have enough to answer. And more importantly, it's going to make the second anything can happen do something in the 40 range of damage.
Happy Feast of Murloc.
Absolutely.
Now, Crusader Kitten's still fighting back, though. He's not out of it just yet.
Yeah, he's going to use this Execute and this enabled Grommash to start getting in there for that damage, putting all of his eggs into this final basket. Ooh, unfortunately, equality the draw, though.
Oh boy, the age-old classic combo.
Yeah, Pyromancer equality will finish off that Grom.
You know, Hearthstone's one of those games that when you pull off combos like that, there is nothing more satisfying in the world.
Yeah, Pyromancer quality. You know, it doesn't feel that great on that kind of board, but it is just such a satisfying feeling when it like deals with a whole board.
Well, even then, that was a 10-8 minion that didn't have a great answer to otherwise.
So
No.
now presumably he's going to want to pull that trigger on the value anything. He might just lay on hands, try and get that old Murkai into his hand. Ooh, Explosive Sheep to draw. That's definitely going to make him not want to play that muster. So he's just going to lay on hands. Draws into a Cult Master, a Defender of Argus, and an Aldor Peacekeeper. Now he gets to play his hero power here to challenge that Explosive Sheep. Whirlwind finally drawn by Crusader K.
Oh man, Crusader K drawing the sheep, whirlwinds, deathbite.
And
So many turns after he
He
needed
sent a
them.
reasonable amount of damage upstairs to Neemers' face, but Neemers has been at such a high life total this whole game from all that
Yeah, oh, Murkai too. That probably sets up lethal if the Murloc dies for next turn, right? He's got 12 from the 2 bluegills.
Yeah, he needs his old Murkai. Oh no, his old
4,
Murkai. Yeah, so his old Murkai is going to deal.
6,
I don't think it's quite going to be lethal yet either.
9 plus 12, I think, something like that. Alright, so still not lethal, especially because Crusader K's gotten to draw a little bit. But there's the other Anyfin.
Yeah, presumably this is it's time to start pulling the trigger on those. Looks like Neemers
Wow.
though, comfortable just sitting back, despite having the full suite of Murlocs in the chamber now for his Anyfins.
Yeah, he's probably looking at his hand and was like, oh, wait a second, I have 2 of these. I could have just played last turn with no consequence.
And he is almost out of cards. He is just gonna end up Anyfin
Oh,
here.
look.
And this is gonna deal
It is a beautiful sight to
20,
behold.
22 damage from the Murlocs.
This is Hearthstone, my friend.
Yeah, who would have guessed that, Murloc Paladin would be the next
Oh.
big deck? Secrets and then Murlocs. Really, Paladins have just been all over the place.
That's true. I have loved Murlocs since I first started playing this game, though. So to see them in all their glory, as they should be together, it's just brings a tear to my eye.
Looks like Crusader K has found lethal this turn, ending the game there with dignity. It's going to tie the
And-
series up 2-2,
Yeah, we're going to game number 5.
and it's going to be Patron Warrior against, I believe, that Rogue deck, the Miracle Rogue, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you are correct. He lost to Priest. Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here
he
it
lost to
is.
Priest. Yeah. And here we go.
This is going to be the end of the series. It all rests on this game.
Crusader K fighting for the dignity of the HSL administrative staff versus Neemers, one of the most commonly seen showcase Hearthstone players, and I think he's still in the playoffs, right?
I believe so, yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the bracket recently.
Hey, that's because he's had so much practice.
Yeah, he's he's here playing Hearthstone when other players are slacking. So, Neemers, opening hand, not looking too good, but he does have quite a bit of time against Patron Warrior to get set up.
Well played.
Well played, coming out
Well played.
early from Crusader K.
I don't think after turn 1 you're in any position to be saying well played, but maybe they're just commenting on the series as a whole, you know?
Yeah,
This has been
sign
a-
of respect for each other.
Exactly, an excellent series so far, going to the 5th and final game. Both players ready to give it their all.
Looks like
And-
Earthen Ring Farseer ready to join the battle here.
Oh man, I've got to say, Neemers has been kind of unlucky with this deck for how many 3/3 minions he's played without an effect.
Yeah, he didn't even get to heal his opponent there.
Yeah, the worst situation.
So, Crusader K now gets a choice between 3-drop minions, Frothing Berserker, or Acolyte of Pain. He could potentially be Acolyte of Pain Inner Raging this turn. That would challenge this 3/3 Earthen Ring Farseer.
I actually don't. I think the Berserker is an okay play though, because your opponent either needs to deal with an Eviscerate or some combination of cards to get rid of it.
No, that's
and if
that's not true. If the Berserker hits play, Neemers just gets to hit it with his 3/3 and then hit it with his face.
well, then the 3/3 dies to the Inner Rage next turn. And that's kind of like a cheap Inner Rage.
I'm not sure that Crusader K wants to be using his inner rages as removal is the problem. Ooh, it looks like Neemers is going to find a way to deal with it without even taking any face damage at all, using that Fan of Knives.
Still, I'm not sure how bad of a situation Crusader Kitten is in using, you know, a free spell essentially. Wow, I drew Death by 2, so he could actually just go face here.
Looks like that is going to be his plan. That Earthen Ring, of course, will die to the Death Rattle of the Death Bite. He is going to need that face damage as much as he can.
Unless he drew into another Earthen Ring, and then healed his Earthen Ring.
Ooh, that would be very, very good. Lotheb instead going to be the play here. So that's going to stop Crusader K from going all the way off with these Grim Patrons, but he is still going to be able to make 2 Patrons and hide them behind a 3-2 Dread Corsair.
Yeah, the Corsair is really what keeps that turn great, really, is, you know, a free 3-3 taunt minion.
So Neemers now looking to draw a Blade Flurry and get into things here. He does not, unfortunately. So he's going to use Sap, and Deadly Poison here is going to clear off that 3-3 Patron.
Yeah, but there's an Inner Rage coming, so that means probably going to see another Patron down from Crusader Kitten for the next turn.
Yeah, although I think the train then will stop because Neemers will be able to deal with that 3-3. Still, he's going to be taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Armorsmith, Shredder, and an Inner Rage going to be coming out for Crusader K. Really getting his mid-range on. And the thing is, Neemers absolutely has to stop these Grim Patrons, but he doesn't have much time after doing that before he dies to these powerful mid-range minions like the Shredder.
Yeah, Neemers looking for some kind of an out. Whether or not...
Really looking for Blade Flurry. Now probably hoping for a Doomsayer to pop out of that Shredder.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate hero moment, but doesn't pick it up. Gonna have to use the SI agent, getting rid of one of the patrons, and he could conceal his minions.
That's
so
exactly
that way,
what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that way he's not gonna be able to get any more patrons, but Crusader Kitten's still very firmly in control of this board.
Yeah, it looks like he's comfortable playing one of his Red Corsairs for 0 mana and the other one for 4 mana. Average of 2 mana for that 3-3 taunt. Gonna coin out another Shredder as well. Really just fill up his board with value minions. And Neemers really, really, really needs to draw Deadly Poison and Blade Flurry off of this Thalnos, probably. Backstab, though, gonna start us off here. 3 damage coming onto that Dread Corsair. Gonna double Cold Blood his SI7 agent. Ooh, wait, sending the second Cold Blood, oh yeah, also onto the SI7 agent.
Alright.
Getting a little bit silly here as the game ends.
That was an interesting turn. Oh man, now he can prep the Eviscerate too.
Yeah, I think he probably started assuming he was dead a little early, because he still was live to getting Doomsayer off of that second Shredder, but...
Well, you know what? Maybe he's just trying to level up his rogue hero as fast as he can.
Yeah, dude, that's a good point. Get some damage dealt from it and stuff. Minions killed. Spells cast.
Yep,
So that's going to be the end of the series here.
Crusader Kitten. The man, the myth, the legend. Bringing it home.
And that was a very well played show match. We're going to take a quick break now. We'll come back with, I think, a real match. In,
Whoa, Dreadnought. So you saying that wasn't a real match? Come on, man.
No, of course
Come
not.
on.
That was a real match as well, but I think we're going to have, I think it's Tate the Great versus Just Golden coming up in just a few minutes.
All right.
So, of course, quick shout out to our sponsors, Twitch, Newegg, Blizzard, MSI, Rockat, Jinx, Loot Crate. Thank you to them for allowing this stream to happen. I've been Dratnos, joined by Sheamus, and we will be back in 5 or 10 minutes or something.